You. Yes, you. You are now here. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, who the heck are you? Courtney, what happened to your face? Well, we can't answer that question, because, I'm not Courtney. I'm Wilton the Troll, and, I want to welcome you to my new lair. It's not really all that new. New for you guys, because, you don't really get to see this view very often. You got my garage over there. You can see the last time my furnace was, serviced, so it's kind of cool. Maybe you can kind of hear it in the background up there. Do you hear it? Because I hear it. But anyway, I want to thank you so much for watching Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. And, I hope you have a good rest of your day, or night, whatever time of day you're watching this. And, don't join gangs. Subscribe to Floral from Under a Rock, because that's where you should be. Always. Bye.
Hello, and nobody can see us.
How's that work?
Hey, I had the overlay on. Hello. I don't even know if anybody's here yet. Sorry for the delay, everybody. I had to feed the dogs, and I've been streaming all day. Not all day, but for a while. But welcome. It's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs, and we are doing a little something different tonight. I have my buddy Pete from Creepy Little Book.
How do you do?
Yeah, a lot of you may know him, and I'm going to let him kind of introduce himself for a moment.
Well, how are y'all doing, everybody? I am Pete, a humble master of mysteries, an antiquary of the arcane. You can find me right here on YouTube at the Creepy Little Book channel, where I discuss things of the esoteric and the extraterrestrial nature, everything, including the spiritual and the supernatural and all that lies between that. So if that's what you're down for, that's kind of what you're getting when you get with me.
If you want to get with me, what was that song? Do you remember that song? You want to get with me? I don't remember.
I don't.
Well, all right. Let me put my phone on silent. Okay. So I was going to play this kind of thing where I was going to try and stump Pete, who I think is a wizard. However, I don't even know what a real wizard is. I know like a whiz or whatever. Pete, tell me what a wizard is.
Wizards are one of the classifications of these various practitioners of the occult arts.
Okay. Can you repeat that one more time? Because I was not paying attention. I'm so sorry.
A wizard is one classification for a type of practitioner of the occult or the esoteric arts. Okay, generally, wizards are associated with the medieval period, the Renaissance era, and the ancient times.
Thank you for that definition. I have whining dogs. I'm going to say hi to the chat. Dogs, shut up. Hey, David Gosling. Welcome.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm, as usual, a little at the beginning. We have, Pops is here. Comics Talk with Pops Van Zandt. He says, hey, Courtney. We also have the Night Clerk.
Hey, Night Clerk.
He says, hello, all. Do you hear these dogs? If you do, tell me. Hopcast is here. He says, sup, everybody.
Hey, Hoff.
And we have Pop Cotton in the house. Tony Nasser in the house.
Tony Nasser.
Yeah.
How do you do?
That's who we have right now. So, I am... That's kind of funny. I'm pretty sure I just read something that wasn't on my side. It says, hey, butthead, is your butthole supposed to itch? That's a question for you, Pete, maybe?
Shower.
Shower. Thank you for helping me out there so I can get up and get the dogs to shut up. Hi, David Gosling. I'm the ghost of the internet. Come back to haunt Pete.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm always looking forward to seeing ghosts.
Okay, so I'm going to just start out. Papa Cotton's laughing because I read his comment, or just laughing at me in general. I have been reading about Colorado Springs. I don't mind if people know. I live temporarily in Colorado Springs. I'm not there right now. My dad's in a different place, but there are a lot of UFO. There's a lot of UFO like lore there, and a lot of UFO kind of connections with the Denver airport, which is about an hour from there. And I pulled up this like article thing, if I could find it. If I didn't close it, which I may have. Yeah, I did. Of course I did. I'm gonna find it again. And they were talking about, this is very recent, January 13th. I'm going to share this with everyone. Okay. And I want to get your thoughts on it.
Absolutely.
Let's see here. I think it's here. And is it sharing automatically now?
Looks like it, yeah.
Because I changed that setting. Okay. So it says 113 UFO sightings reported in Colorado. Yes. Oh my God, don't let me get started. Last year, a look at a few reports. First of all, what is this? Oh, I can see it now. Can people in the chat see this? The light beaming down?
Oh, yeah.
Is that something that you would normally think of as a UFO image? Because I have different thoughts on that.
Personally, I wouldn't say that would be a classic UFO image. I mean, is there something that's like the source of the light? Is there a little saucer or something going on up there?
It kind of looks like it, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I can't really discern if that light's coming from somewhere.
It looks like right here, there may be like a little image. Let's see what they say about it, though. Because there's a couple different things in this. It says, oh, excuse me. Let me just cough really quick. Not. It says, in case you missed it, the U.S. government recently announced that they'd received over 350 new reports of unidentified aerial phenomena, also known as UFOs, 247 of which have occurred since March 5th of 2021. While tracking down exactly where those UFO incidents took place have proven difficult, the search for more information led to the National UFO Reporting Center database. I'm going to come back to that. This database revealed that 113 UFO sightings were reported in Colorado in 2022 alone. Here's a look at the few most notable sightings on this specific database cover. Whether or not any of these ended up in the official government log is unknown. Mm-hmm. Right? Of course. Okay, so I think that's the photo that we're looking at is this. It was October 27th, 7:20 p.m. Cortez. A person reports spotting an enormous light the size of the moon that was present for 30 to 60 seconds and in the shape of a cylinder. That's what we're looking at up there.
Okay.
So these are going to show like a lot of different.
So cylindrical craft aren't really out of the ordinary when it comes to UFO sightings. I mean, you got your classic saucers, you have your cylinders. There was an account. A strange account associated with a guy named Woodrow Dernberger, and he encountered a UFO that was shaped like an old storm lantern. Kind of had a flute going on to it, like it was tapered towards one end and more bulbous in the other. And this UFO stopped him on the road in the middle of the night. And the man that got out had this incredibly large, creepy grin on his face. And he said his name was Indrid Cold. And he wanted to know what the lights were in the distance. And Woodrow Dernberger explained to him it was a city. And they exchanged pleasantries for a few moments. And then Indrid Cold got back in his spaceship and said, I'll see you again. Don't worry about it. And he took off. Now, to his detriment, Dernberger released the story to the press. and they kind of hounded him for a while. They were always at his property. You know, it really ruined his life to some degree to come forward with his UFO story. But for some people in the 50s and 60s, that's the way it was. You know, there were very famous contactees during that era. But to come forward, there was a certain amount of societal ridicule that you would have to face. You know what I mean?
I feel like it was like that with everything back then, like adoption. People, you know, my mom admitted later on in life that she was adopted. That was like,
well, I guess
a
anything out of
thing back in the day.
societal norms, you know.
Yeah, just yeah, exactly. But exactly. Let me just look at these for a second. Pete, you have a question here. Is the is the currently water falling from the sky? How do you explain this weirdness?
That's the baby Jesus crying.
Oh, I like that one. I like that one. You know what I call thunder?
What's that?
God moving furniture or elephants moving furniture.
There you go.
David Gosling. When did Pete take on a biblical look? That Catholic school was traumatic.
I don't really have an issue with Catholic school. I had a pretty good ride in the parochial school system.
So my dad calls himself a recovering Catholic. You dogs need to stop it. Sorry, guys. Keep talking. I'm still here. What do you guys need? I have the little dogs that I was showing on the stream the other night.
Oh, okay.
They're driving me crazy. And they won't stop whining. And they have food, but Bodie wants to come in and hang out. So we'll bring him in. Come on, Boo. Come on. Come on. There you go. Yeah. You want to go say hi to everything?
Wild Jeez. Kingdom over there, huh?
It is. Come on, Bodie. Come here. Come on and say hi. Come on. Come on. You're a pain in the butt. This is the whiner of the crew. My Walter's over there. Okay, so we're just going to. Hoffcast is interesting with this one. He says, thunder is God bowling a strike.
There you go.
I wish my dog understood that. He's terrified of it. David Gosling has my giant squid friend behind her. It's actually a shower curtain. Okay, no, Tessa, you're not allowed in here. You pee. Get out. So let's go back to this for a moment because they have a couple of different types that they're going to show. And then I want to go back to that database thing because I actually had an experience with that. So another one, let's find another one with here we go. Actually, these are similar to what you said. Okay, so then we have one in October, again, Colorado Springs. A person and another witness report that 3 bright lights in the shape of a triangle flew by overhead while enjoying a night in their hot tub. That's really interesting.
Triangular-shaped craft are really not out of the ordinary either. That's one I neglected to mention in my discussion of saucers and cylinders, is the triangular-shaped craft. There's also vague lights in the sky that don't seem to have any structure, if you could kind of call it that. Sometimes you'll see these lights kind of separate and come together and reform in these kind of strange formations.
That's what I was going to bring up about the UFO database. So this is exactly what I saw, and I've seen a couple times when I've gone camping in Colorado. I've seen it's like a combination of 3 lights. They're not always the same color, and they'll kind of be triangular, but then one will like shoot up. But they come in like threes, and it's really bizarre. And I went on this UFO. I found out about the UFO database because I wanted to report it, and I was curious about it. And there were all these people that had seen the same thing at the same time.
Oh, well, there you go.
So that made me
reinforces that you saw something.
Yeah, I'm not just crazy.
Different witnesses from different angles. One of my favorite pieces of UFO footage is the Dome of the Rock footage from about, 5 to 7 years ago. But it shows a strange light descending on the Dome of the Rock from over Jerusalem from 3 different angles. And this thing hovers for a little bit and then takes off like a shot in the dark. It's very compelling footage. Now, it could be fake for all I know. It could have been filmed from 3 angles and then cut together with computer composite footage. But, as far as I can tell, it's a pretty good one.
Stop it. That's exactly how these, the lights that I've seen, these 3 dotted things, one will immediately just shoot up and disappear. And then the other 2 kind of just go away. But they're always in sets of 3 and they are triangular, like you were talking about. So let's see what this next shape that they're talking about is, if I can get back to being able to read it. So another one was in Sterling. It was in December, more recently. of, I guess it's 2022. A long illuminated craft shaped like a cigar appeared for 15 to 25 seconds before fading away. You kind of mentioned something a little bit like that, right?
That's an interesting thing too, and you also mentioned this yourself, the fading away part. You know, when you talked about one shooting off into the sky and two just kind of going away, you know, just fading out. So there's a lot of speculation on what these lights in the sky are, and I guess since the beginning they've been associated with extraterrestrials. You know, in 1947, the first sighting over Mount Rainier occurred, and it was a pilot who saw these, what he called flying discs. It was the first time they were called saucers too. But the fact of the matter is, for 70 years, you've had this kind of idea that unidentified flying objects have been associated with extraterrestrials. Prior to that, there were sightings. Prior to flight, you know, before the Wright brothers took off, people did see things in the sky. So you had the great airship flap of the 1880s, where people were seeing something going on in the sky, and they were making reports of these vast airships that they were seeing that were populated with various different descriptions of humanoid beings on them. Prior to the great airship flap, there was, well, I guess after it was the 1891 Aurora, Texas crash, where something came out of the sky that they said looked like a burning hay bale, took out a silo, and then crashed in a field.
I've heard about
Reportedly,
that.
they buried the pilot of this craft in a grave in the local cemetery. There was also the Missouri River crash of 1865. Now, this one predates the Great Airship Flap. And this occurred on the upper Missouri River, where this prospector and fur trapper had seen something come careening out of the sky. And the next day, he saw the path that it cut through the forest, and it was just like knocked down trees and upturned hills, you know, where this thing had crashed into. So he followed the trail of destruction to where the thing was, and he said it looked like a meteor on the outside, but from what he could see through cracks in it, there were carvings and such on the inside.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I have a question before you go on with more of these. So if these were before a certain date, what are your speculations on what they were? Do you think that they were meteorites? Do you think that they could have been like maybe someone build a plane before, you know, it was reported or something like that?
Well, specifically during the airship flap, people believed that there were inventors out there who were working on secret projects. And Edison, at the time, had been accused of being involved in the airship flap, so much so that he had to issue a public statement denying any involvement in it. So people speculated that this was the product of, you know, kind of rogue inventors. You know, this was a time when people were locking themselves in a room inventing things. It's not like now. Very different world.
I don't know. I have a family member that does that still, actually. But you know which one. But I'm going to just read this really quickly. I have pics of my triangle UFO parked outside my window. Apparently, I'm someone they track.
Well, that's generally the case. If you are being snatched up by the denizens of the UFO, they keep tabs on you your whole life, you know.
That freaks me out because you did a stream before about sleep
How to
paralysis.
tell if you were being abducted by UFOs?
Yeah, and sleep paralysis is one of the things that you brought up.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what you had? Can you tell the chat what you had told me, or you had told your on your show before? But if people hadn't, heard about
sleep paralysis can be an aspect of the UFO abduction phenomenon. The idea of being frozen in your bed, unable to move, surrounded by shadowy beings. But there are many other factors involved. I advise if you guys are interested in the bulk of that information, go swing by my channel and check out the video. There's so much to detail when it comes down to how much different aspects there are to that abduction phenomenon that I could fill a whole hour with that. Man, I don't want to get bogged down on one thing the whole night, you know.
Hi, Kai.
Hey, Kai, how you doing?
Kai MFS is here. Okay, so that terrified me, especially now that you added that shadowy being thing, because I had experienced that before you even did that stream. So that was what freaked me out the most. And now that you say they can track you for life, so maybe David Gosling and I are being tracked. I don't know. We also have the funny story of the alien in my shed, but I won't bring that up just yet. There was an alien in my shed. Okay, I want to just see a couple more of these because I think they had. Oh, Silverthorne. Okay, here's another one in Silverthorne. It says there's photos included in the report. Can you guys see this? Oh, this is the National UFO Reporting Center. Oh no, it's not showing it. I'm sorry. Hold on. It's showing the other one right here. So I have to do. I apologize, guys. I'm not the fastest at this. So we'll go to again share screen. I'll talk myself through it. Do you like that?
Yes.
This is the international. Can you see this now? I know you can't really see it, Pete, but can the chat maybe see it? The National UFO Reporting Center. So it brings you to all of these reported events in 2022. So from December 17th going down to basically probably the beginning of the year is what I'm going to say. Assume. However, they have the shape. And if you just go down into like these shapes, a lot of people say, well, so we have cigar here, egg, other. This one was described as an enormous object, looked like a rock, miles long. That's interesting. A formation. They cited 4 of what they thought were stars. I've never seen 4, but I have seen the 3. Oval, another formation. Shape-shifting glowing objects flying in formation. Changing lines, a chevron type. That would be like the kind of like a diamond, a long diamond, right?
Yeah, something like that.
There we go. Cylinder, disc, sphere, circle. But it's interesting because if you look at the dates of these, like the 2 cigars are on the same date. The egg's a different date. The other or the formation, these don't match actually. But on certain dates here, like the 11th, the naked eye can't see this. Whoa, this one was caught on camera. Unknown. The naked eye can't see this. I'm sorry, that was my ADD, but that just like threw me. In Colorado Springs. Triangle. Another triangle here. My husband and I were in the hot tub and this mysterious object flew over us with 3 bright lights in a triangular form. Another triangular shaped craft. And they show the amount of time. Now, some people say, like here in Lakewood, it says a disc has been seen heading east over Denver for 6 years. What do you think about that? That I kind of question that one, but
For 6 years?
yeah, that's what this one says.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I think. All the rest are like, a minute and a half, or like 4 to 5 seconds, 40 seconds type of things. Now this one, okay, so this one doesn't describe a lot. A lot of these that are near the area where I am appears, like this one says, appeared to be a star at first glance, twinkling abnormally. A lot of these are going with that light thing. Now, this is what I have seen. This is interesting. I don't know if they were large because they were up in the sky, but large lights, red, blue, white, hanging and oscillating in the sky. I've seen it 3 times, same place, and then just vanishes. I remember a green one. Maybe I wasn't seeing the color right, but here's another one, had bluish. Yeah, these are just interesting. So all of these people in Colorado have spotted these things. Like these are all pretty much around the same area, like Pueblo, Canning City, Greeley. These are all around the Colorado Springs area. And also Colorado Springs does have an Air Force base.
Right.
So, people would maybe question that it was like a plane or something, but
That's
these do not sound. But these don't sound like it though. This one does. Castle Rock, which is right nearby, cluster of 5 lights seen on military. Oh, it's seen on military grade. NVG. I don't know what that stands for. Randomly moving lights. Another one. Witnessed this and also took a video. Where are the videos though? Oh, here we go. Is this how I see it? Oh, they have descriptions of everything on here. I'm not going to take everybody through all of this, but people really went into like, wow. Witnessed this and also took a video. This happened in Fort Collins. My father and I were in our backyard last night having cigars, and I noticed the light that was in the sky, low and in sight over the house behind mine, not directly above the house, likely 5 miles from our location. I wrote it off as just a bright star, but when I ended up turning my head that direction again, it was moving side to side very quickly, but in kind of a smooth fashion. It began moving in my direction, and eventually I noticed it was the shape of the crescent moon, extremely bright. However, it was moving with the 2 points facing forward, like if a B-2 Spirit was moving in reverse. That's a plane, I'm going to think. Assume, probably. Began to get higher and higher and faster and then disappeared. The video recorded is about 10 seconds after it stopped moving side to side and began moving in my direction. There's the video. They took it down, I bet. Do you think the government does this? I think maybe. I don't know. Shouldn't talk about that.
I personally don't think the powers that be really know what's going on. I think it's been a mystery to them for 70 years. And I think because they have no idea, they don't talk about it. And I think those who wait for those in power to reveal the truth about what these lights in the sky are damned fools. Because it's never going to come from the people in power.
Thank you, nobody, and hello, welcome. Night vision goggles. I didn't know what NVG meant. Let me catch up with the chat one more second, and
Yeah,
then
no problem.
I want to hear a little bit more of what you think about that. Okay, so aloha, the wolf breaker. Thank you for these dogs. They're driving me crazy. I apologize. That was just something falling over. That's not going to spook me. Oh, Geek Hero Bubba, evening, y'all. He says, they call me nobody. Says, have you all seen the video of the jet landing on the U.S. aircraft carrier and show a triangle UFO on the ship's deck? I have not. You seen that video, Pete?
Yeah, don't know if I've seen that one.
But there's that triangle kind of
I
formation
just saw
thing.
the video. There's so many videos that happen to go around. I just saw one from Russia. It was supposedly the discovery of a fallen angel. It looked like a bad statue to me. Like, it just really didn't. I wasn't buying it.
As bad as the statue. I won't go there. Never mind. The statue
So
thing was
yes,
real.
there's just a lot of bad videos out there that I don't really buy into. But there's some that I haven't seen, like this one. And I would love to check it out. Triangle UFO on the ship's deck. I wouldn't be too shocked if we had reverse engineered some kind of craft that we discovered maybe through an archaeological dig, maybe left over from past civilization. The more that I've looked into the UFO phenomenon, the less and less I'm convinced that these things are from outer space.
Okay. Why do you think that?
Because regardless of all the reports and the anecdotal evidence and the sightings, there's really no substitute for a craft landing and somebody getting out and saying hello.
Okay,
So
I understand.
until that happens, the universe sounds pretty quiet. There's pictures of the vast deepness of space, and you don't really see giant UFOs flying around in them, Now, there's people that make claims, and they pull up NASA videos, and they say, look at this UFO flying around in the background, but there's 3,000 satellites orbiting the Earth right now.
How do you know we can't see it, though?
Can't see what?
Like, maybe it's not visible to the human eye.
What, UFOs?
If something is deep in the universe, out in the universe, like, how do you know? That's questionable in any way. So, because I think you probably feel the same. Well, I don't know if you feel the same way, but I find it hard to believe that in this entire universe of ours, and there's probably many, that we're the only living, intelligence, basically.
I used to think that. I really used to think that, but there's something called the Great Barrier, and it's the idea that every civilization hits this Great Barrier before they ever become spacefaring. They either annihilate themselves or something wipes them out from the sky,
Every civilization, it says that?
That's the Great
theory?
Barrier Theory. So either we're the first who's going to cross the Great Barrier and become a spacefaring civilization, or we're going to
What if
hit
it
the
comes
Great
the other way?
Barrier and wipe ourselves out.
What if it comes the other way?
What do you mean? Well, if something shows up?
Hmm.
Well, that can go two different directions. Something can show up and be so significantly advanced that they wipe us out like stepping on an anthill without a second thought, without any kind of compunction.
I've
Now,
thought
if that
about
were
that.
the case, we would know it. If there were hostile extraterrestrials, they could wipe us out from orbit and take our planet without a problem.
Well, what if they're not hostile? What if they're
Well, if
just
they're not
studying us?
hostile, then the fact of the matter is they don't understand human emotions either. Because abduction experiences are traumatic on people.
Hmm. I have heard that.
They aren't pleasant. It's not like it's a fun thing. In the 50s and 60s, the contactees, who are very different from abductees, contactees are people who have these fanciful relationships with extraterrestrials. In some cases, it was people like Truman Bethram, whose wife divorced him because he was in love with an alien named Aura Raines. She was the spaceship captain from another world, who he met in the desert while he was looking for seashells to give his wife. Now,
Was he making that up, do you think?
No, I don't know.
Cheating?
His coworkers thought that he was meeting with Kais and that he was involved in like subterfuge for the Korean War. His wife divorced him, but he stuck by his story. He was good friends with George Van Tassel, and George Van Tassel came up with the idea of the Ashtar Galactic Command, and they're essentially like space cops. They're good guys. They fight to protect Earth from bad aliens.
I love hearing stuff like this because it's so it's just interesting. Like I love
it's mythology. It's
yeah.
all mythology, and the more I've studied it, the less it makes sense. Like it's all stitched together from different sources too. Like it comes from all over the place. But at the end of the day, space is quiet. And the idea of alternate universes existing because we make choices here and it splits the timeline and then creates another world is like ludicrous to me. Like eventually, you're talking about infinite parallel universes and infinite choices. I don't think it's that complicated.
I don't know. I don't disbelieve that. I think that any of that is possible because who are we? We're humans. You know what I mean? What do we know? There could be any sort of thing out there that is like a million times just beyond what we are. And maybe they don't want to mess with us. Maybe they study us, to teach their kids or something, or whatever thing.
Well, that's one aspect of what these things could be. Perhaps they're time travelers. Perhaps they're humans from the far-flung future traveling back in time to study ancient people.
That's fascinating. I want to bring up David Gosling's. Continue.
I don't know. It's just crazy talk. Go right ahead.
It's not necessarily crazy talk. But I want to just bring up what David Gosling said because I've been ignoring this for a little bit. I didn't mean to. David Gosling says, my shadow person that visited me and gave me sleep paralysis is the same I met as a child. So there's that. I would also say RV could well be a factor. RV as in
I think
RV.
he might be he may mean RH, negative
That's what
blood.
Okay. I have like the RH factor thing. I thought everybody had that. I'm RH like positive or whatever. So
I'm assuming that's what he means. I don't know if it's a typo. I don't know what RV is, but it made me think of RH negative blood right away.
Oh my gosh, I'm so behind in the chat. Sorry. Remote viewing. Okay. Could well be a factor. Okay, gotcha. That makes sense too. That's interesting because I have shadow people that I've witnessed my whole life and since childhood too. And I've always been told they're like demons around me that I'm not letting in. I don't know. Anyway, oh my goodness, look who is in the chat. He may not still be here now because we've been battling, but One of my favorite people, the hunk, John Della Rose. How you doing, John? Nice to see you here.
Hello.
We're talking UFOs. And Ashley, I saw in the chat too. Where's Ash? She's saying, "What up, Papa?" I'm going to catch up with some people really quick. Remote viewing, that was interesting. Thank you for giving us that information. And
Yeah, thanks for clearing that up.
David. And Ashley, always, I love her. Courtney, I'm your biggest fan. Pete, I love you too.
Thank you, Ashley.
How would I pronounce this? Urag or Jurag? SFT6. Space is big enough that we still have meteors coming between us and the moon without advanced discovery. Until is that like on the other side, or did they not finish? Sometimes it doesn't show up. Until it. No. Okay. Let's go up here a little bit. Okay, so shadow person I got here. I said bye to Geek here, Bubba. If you are still here, you saw me give you a wave. And David Gosling also says, my one contention with this reality and my spiritual beliefs is that in this reality we have free will, as God told us. And in fact, we do not, as the entire realm is controlled, and we are free in it. What do you think of that, Pete? Do you want me to read it again?
Well,
want me to read it one more time so you can...
No.
Okay.
I think to some degree, there's this idea that we're trapped on this planet, that it's a prison planet, and that we cannot leave it. No matter what technology we develop, there's no way to escape it, that we're here for this, this reason, or perhaps some kind of, preserve. So if that was the case, and if all of it was controlled from the top down, I could understand that kind of perspective. But I think we're seeing the emergence of that, but not necessarily the byproducts of it yet.
I'm going to read it to myself one more time because... So he says, my one contention with this reality and my spiritual beliefs is that in this reality we have free will, as God told us. And in fact, we do not, as the entire realm is controlled and we are free in it. That's really fascinating because that's a good point. I don't see people as really having free will necessarily. I mean, I know that's everyone's like different belief, but I'm going to go on from there. Anyway, CGI is commonplace more so than you think in this reality. Is that computer generated? What does that mean? Okay. And Kai says, but Pete, what if there's another cataclysm?
There will be.
And what would happen to people that don't understand that?
I think these cataclysms will wipe out most of life on the planet, if not all.
Do you have, this is a little off the subject, but do you have like any beliefs in like there being something that's like another ice age or something maybe coming too? Not necessarily that it's possible.
No, not necessarily. I think that time has already passed. You know what I mean? And I think that's directly associated with the Great Flood. There are 900 flood myths from around the world. I mean, so you got to think that if the world had been washed over in a flood and there's just these massive mudslides and earth changes, maybe something like a pole shift could have accounted for something like this. And there's a document, I think it's called the Adam and Eve story. It was covered up by the CIA for a while, but they released information on it. It was a story by Thomas Chen about the pole shift and the idea that the poles flipped 12,000 years ago and annihilated most of life on this earth. I did a video on it. I forget if it was a live stream or not.
Does that have to do with Antarctica stuff or no? Like the North-South Pole type thing? or no? Is that totally off
It
the
very
list?
well could have. I mean, Antarctica was the last continent discovered. So who knows what it was like prior to its icy desert that it's become. Like, many people assumed it was tropical. I've even covered some stories regarding ancient extraterrestrial colonies that may have existed there. And if you're interested in Antarctica, I'm going to give a quick plug. Tomorrow at 8:30 p.m., I'm going to be on Christina Gomez's channel talking about
Okay.
Antarctica.
If you put a link or find a link to that or something, we'll post them in the
Yeah,
chat.
let me get a
I'd be
link so
ready
you
to
guys
get
can
that.
subscribe to it. Yeah, because it should be tomorrow night
Christina
around 8:30
Gomez is
Eastern.
interesting.
Yeah, she's got a great channel. I'm a big fan.
I'm going to keep reading while you're doing that. Sapphire Elf, hello. He says it's like the Drake equation says there should be aliens everywhere. But Fermi paradox equals what are they then? So Great Barrier, yeah. I kind of mean to Borg theory that destroys advanced civilizations. I don't know anything about that. So if you have a comment about that, Pete, take it away. But
Let me just read the question again here.
Here,
It's like the Drake equation says there should be aliens everywhere. Yes, that's true. But the Fermi paradox, where are they then exactly? So the Great Barrier, yeah. I kind of learned to lean to a Borg theory that destroys advanced civilizations. So that's I'm a little break that down a little bit for people who may not be familiar with it. Okay, so the Drake equation says there should be aliens everywhere. This professor
they might
came
be.
up with his name was Drake. He came up with the Drake equation, and he calculated that there are so many stars and so many galaxies and so many planets that there should be life forms all over the place. The Fermi paradox says, where is everybody? Because there should be spaceships everywhere. There should be planets inhabited all over the place. We should point our radio telescopes out there and pick up signals from other worlds. You know what I mean? And it's not happening.
Maybe we're not advanced enough. Maybe they're preventing us. They could be people all around us. Maybe we're not all human. There's that theory too.
Now, that's the idea that aliens may have infiltrated Earth and have been here for quite some time. That possibility exists only if the aliens are identical to humans in every way. Otherwise, they could never go to a hospital, never go to a doctor. You know, they'd have to look like people. They'd have to be anatomically humans from another world.
And that would be like shapeshifters? Is that what you were saying? Like,
not even shapeshifters. I don't think shapeshifters are a thing. Like, I think it's a fun idea. But the idea that you'd have some kind of being that could rearrange its molecules to turn into another creature, I don't know about that.
I kind of think that, you could see some people have different types of eyes and different types of looks. Mm. And to me, I don't, that's not out of the question at all. Hello, awesome one. He says, Ola, people who just came out of the shower.
Hello.
You're not saying hi to me. Yeah, I didn't just get out of the shower. My hair's just greasy. We have Marco Esquandoles.
Marco Esquandoles. Hola, ¿cómo está? How do you do, Marco? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in.
This is kind of funny. Awesome one says the polls flipped in 2020. David Gosling, I think. Oh wait, hold on. I had a comment up here. I just wanted that I had. Here we go. Oh, I read that one. I'm so sorry. Okay. So David Gosling you have some interesting comments here, David. I think we're doing another extinction level event, and those in the know are just having a merry time doing whatever the F they want before the reset. That's why I asked that question about like an ice age or like something like that. So that's interesting that's of your opinion. And hi, Tiger Stripes. She says, Stephen Hawking said that if there are aliens out there, we do not want their attention.
Not necessarily. It might not be a good thing if they are out there. Contact could mean disease. It could mean war. It could mean conquest without even us being able to fight back. It could be very bad if we encountered a species from outer space. But the fact that we haven't encountered a species from outer space with any reliable proof, with any real evidence, with any concrete extraterrestrial standing there saying, hey, I'm from Mars.
What if that is being hidden from us? And not by the government even, but by
by the extraterrestrials themselves?
Yeah.
Okay, so that possibility exists.
I think I have a huge imagination, so
but then
I like to.
Why would your spaceships have lights all over them?
Maybe those aren't really like the spaceships that people are, maybe that is just the whole thing that the media has kind of created.
That could be.
If you think about it, in movies and stuff, that's how, people, I don't know, if something's described in history as some way, you hear about it quite, repetitively, because people kind of, they're followers. They'll believe, and then all of a sudden they see it and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. People will follow them. People will follow like lemmings off a cliff.
Mm-hmm. The weird thing with me when I saw that, when I saw the three dots in the sky the first time, and I saw them a couple different times, I'd never heard of that being like a UFO thing. I had no clue. I went on to that sighting thing because I was like, is this like something weird? And there were other people reporting that. I had never heard of that before. Maybe I had somewhere and didn't remember. So that is a possibility. I don't put that out of them. David Gosson says there are aliens everywhere. Sorry to break the news. I kind of think that. And I don't know if you're going with Glinsler about aliens at the border, but I kind of believe that there are aliens everywhere, like around us. I don't necessarily think that we are all necessarily, you can get into religion with that and stuff. People have different beliefs, but. And then he says, as humans, we can't connect to that. Okay. Mr. CCDB, tons of planets. We're all at the same tech level. How do we know we're all at the same tech level?
That's a possibility if there were other planets that developed around the same time as we did. We were on the same kind of evolutionary scale.
In our universe or whatever.
And in the universe, that's possible because it's so big. But in like space, where there's two kind of civilizations could ever come in contact with each other, I don't think that evolution would ever occur similarly on two worlds. Let's say two galaxies apart, but maybe 20,000 galaxies apart, perhaps.
So let's just go back to like brief the chat. So you could see more belief in the fact of time travel.
I'm saying that's one possibility. They could be time travelers.
I'm curious what the chat thinks about time travel. Like if the chat believes in time travel or possible other creatures being on the earth, you know what I mean, already with us.
Right.
And we just don't know. Because you do hear about, I mean, I know they make movies and stuff, and those are movies, but you do hear about these these people that are just extraordinary and stuff. And who's to say that they are necessarily? Maybe they can shift into I cannot word what I'm trying to say. Maybe they can like present themselves to be like our DNA and stuff like that. Janet Lewis just said, triangle is just the government. That's good to know. That's a good theory. I'm not saying, I don't know what the true thing is, but is that something that people,
it could be. They could have triangular craft. That could exist.
But these were triangular.
If you saw the stealth bomber before it was released to the public, you'd probably think it was a UFO. And I think the stealth bomber came out in '91 when they started the war. They let people know it existed at that point. But if you had seen one prior to the public admission that it existed, you would probably think it was some kind of spacecraft.
See, I don't think I saw
in shape.
Crafts though. That's the thing. I'm gonna look and see if there's any videos that like kind of somebody maybe has seen, because I saw they come in threes. They're not always in a triangle. but they come in threes. These dots that I've seen, they look like just different color kind of stars, but they kind of hover around each other, and then one will always just like shoot up, disappear, and the other kind of fade away. It's a bizarre thing. I've seen it more than once, and that's why I don't know that those are UFO. Well, they're unidentified flying objects, so I don't know if they're aliens, what's not. But I'm just googling to see if there's a video or anything if other people have seen that. I'm sure. Baffled man spots UFO with a trio of white orbs flying in the sky. Okay, let's see. Video. See, this is okay. I'm not going to bring this up because I'm just reading through the Google stuff, but like there's YouTube videos, like 3 triangle UFOs fly by the International Space Station. I could see that being government stuff. But like mysterious lights spotted flashing in the sky. I didn't see a pyramid-shaped object. I'm sorry that you guys aren't seeing this. Okay, these are all triangular things, so I'll get back to that. I don't want to totally just get off the subject with that. I will look into that. Okay, Lynn, if you know, Lynn is a hybrid. I only know of Lynn, Massachusetts. Lynn, the city of sin. So I'm not sure. And Mr. CCDV says, Star Trek TNG did an episode on that. It's not my favorite episode. It's pretty interesting on the whole paradox bit. Okay, I'm lost. I'm so sorry. If you guys want to catch me up, Tiger Six says, hello. Oh, is that Star Poopus who says hello? Or are you just saying hello like that too? Okay, let me get past all the hellos and the hellos. So let's see. CCDB says, like John Ringer's legacy of the Aldenta series, Aldonada series, it explores that stuff.
I'm not familiar with that one. I have to look into it. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know Star Trek. Pete does. I know that for a fact.
Oh no, I'm talking about the legacy of Aldonada.
Oh, I thought that had to do with. I apologize. That's so much I don't know. It's impossible. On your left, on your top, above you.
On your top. That doesn't.
I usually say above you or on your bottom. I try and derail it somehow, but that doesn't sound right. Papa Cotton says, I think if the U.S. government is telling us UFOs are real, you can put money on them being something else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Papa.
I do agree with that.
I think there's something else.
But then if you look into the word, like, a UFO, unidentified flying object, there's tons of, stars could be unidentified. You know what I mean? A certain star could be unidentified. But them saying that they're aliens or other life forms, like that idea of the UFO, yeah, I could see that being bogus. And that's what I was talking about with the media and movies and stuff, all kind of giving people the same idea of what a UFO looks like and whatnot. People start to believe it. I just wanted to be. I don't know what they're talking about. So, general talk with you folks. Okay. Where's the cosmic cat at? The cosmic cat is somewhere around here. I will show the cosmic cat. This is Pete's genius, because I don't know how to make thumbnails. So that was Pete's doing. Usually I'll write on a piece of paper, take a picture of it, or like. Now I lost the chat. Where am I? Okay. It skipped around a little. Okay. Okay, here we go. David Gosling thinks that time travel is a romantic view of life and death. That would be more like reincarnation, though, right?
I guess so. No? Yeah, that's a good view to take on reincarnation. Yeah.
Or is it really like some Back to the Future type stuff? Where people we do have that advanced technology that people can come back and visit.
Yeah, like if time travel is possible, that could explain the lights in the sky and the extraterrestrial phenomenon. If time travel is not possible, then there's other theories that abound, that they could be, but I'm less inclined to think they're from space.
And where, you think that they're like, what would you be inclined to think that they are?
Well, along with time travelers, there's a possibility that could come from the inner Earth. There is this theory that the Earth is hollow. Now, many contend that it's more like a honeycomb kind of thing. But there are enormous caverns in the Earth. And some believe these caverns are populated.
I like to think of it as Fraggle Rock or something when I hear these stories. That's just maybe like silly. But this theory is so interesting.
It comes from the Shaver Mysteries, which were published by Ray Palmer in what was the name of the magazine? I think it was called like Astonishing Tales or some crazy stuff like that. That was one of his magazines. Anyway, Shaver Mysteries essentially told the story of these alien species that came in the ancient past to Earth. The Atlans and the Titans. And they lived here on the planet Earth and created all kinds of wild technology. And two things that were a byproduct of their technology were a race of beings called the Darrow and the Terror. They had diverged from a singular source known as the Abandoned Arrow. So the Atlans and the Titans leave Earth, leave all their technology here, and leave a race called the Abandoned Arrow. The Abandoned Arrow diverge evolutionarily into the Terror and the Darrow. The Darrow come to the surface world to kidnap people and bring them down there and to come get food and stuff, but they're malevolent. They're horrible creatures. The Terror fight a never-ending battle against these Darrow monsters who live under the earth. So, the UFO phenomenon has been tied to the Shaver Mystery as well. It's also been tied to occult practices. The Babylon Working, performed by rocket scientist Jack Parsons and its founder of Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard. They were performing occult rituals out in the Mojave Desert. One was called the Babylon Working. And some speculate that they might have opened an occult portal to let these things through to begin with. And that's where the UFO phenomenon came from.
That's very interesting to me. I'm trying to find the UFO picture. I mean, the alien picture. I'm sorry. That's why I'm scrolling. I'm not ignoring you. And I just pulled up a picture that looks exactly like it, and there's nothing in it now. And I know, Pete, that you have seen the picture with me. It's very interesting. But you witnessed. Oh, here it is. Thing. No. That's so weird because, Pete, I know you know this picture. And the creature is gone.
The creature is gone.
Okay, let me continue on. I'll find it somewhere. It's got to be a different picture. Ashley Lynn says, yeah, absolutely. These idiots out here are definitely aliens, no question. I think that too. Ashley and I have spoken about this before, like among, walking around us.
Among the population, aliens walk.
Yeah. They could take on our form. Okay. Tiger Six. I guess if we human beings continue to exist as a species, we may get to the point where we can time travel. If that's a given, then we could be seeing that. Yeah, absolutely. Ever seen the movie AI? I have not.
No, I haven't either.
Is that with like Will Smith? I think, right?
I think so.
Or, yeah, I didn't see that one. Or maybe I did. It's got the kid from The Sixth Sense in it, but I didn't see the whole thing. I think I know what movie she's talking about.
Oh, wait a minute. I think those are two different movies.
Oh, you might be right.
I think the one's about a little boy who's a robot, right?
That's the one I think I'm thinking of.
And then one's where Will Smith is trying to track down a robot.
That would be AI, probably.
I don't remember which one's which.
Oh, no, there's iRobot and AI. Okay, I'm totally confused.
There you go.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I just took it off the street. I'm like, where did it go? I worked with Mr. CCTV says I worked with people at Groom Lake. As far as I know, there ain't no government conspiracy.
Yeah, I just don't think they know what's going on. I really don't.
I think even if they would present us the correct information, and I think that, well, this is just my theory, the information that maybe is now, now they're saying there's possibilities of UFOs. Like, I call BS on that. I think it's just fear trying to be instilled in us. But that's my personal. Those are my issues. David Gosling says reincarnation and time travel, but we can't recall everything we learned in the upper conscious, but the subconscious knows all. Yeah, so how do we find out? Right? Studies that the aliens are doing on us. Anyway, I don't want to out Lynn. Are you talking about Ashley Lynn, the town of Lynn, or is Lynn a thing? I'll figure it out sometime, but I have no clue. Yeah. Be unlost. I'm always lost. Research me, David Gosling. TP on the roll. Thank you for that awesome one. Oh, Drew Dat Underground is there. Hey, Drew Dat there.
Hello.
I haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing? He says, hello. And then we've got, if it would hit, okay, Marco again. So Marco's saying something again. I'm sorry. Did we barter or steal tech from the UFOs?
I think we found it in an archaeological dig.
That's an interesting question, though. That's like something to like think about.
I think it was found in an archaeological dig. I think that UFOs, the earliest UFOs, go back to like the time of the antediluvian world.
Uh-oh. If anyone knows Pete's channel, that means you have to drink.
Take a sip of your soda pop. But I think it goes back to the antediluvian world. I believe that there was significant amount of time for people to develop high technology, and then the flood wipes it all out.
That's like another reset of all knowledge, too, if you think about it.
Exactly. And that's what the Epic of Gilgamesh is about. It's a reset. Like, Gilgamesh goes to find Utnapishtim, who survived the Great Flood. And he's seeking immortality, which Utnapishtim has. Because the gods looked down on Utnapishtim and granted him and his wife immortality for surviving the flood. And Utnapishtim says to Gilgamesh, you want to conquer death, you can't even conquer sleep. You know what I mean? And Gilgamesh comes back after his adventures, and what he brings back with him is what was lost before the flood, and it was the secret of writing things down.
Don't you think that writing was before that? Maybe not in the same.
Well, the Epic of Gilgamesh is like 6,000 years old or something like that. So it was from the time when writing originated. It's the first thing that was ever written down was the Epic of Gilgamesh.
What about like hieroglyphics and stuff like that?
Hieroglyphics and cuneiform kind of develop at the same time.
So, because that to me would be a form of writing.
It is, but they develop around the same time. They come up parallel. Not only do you have Egypt kind of like coming up, as a civilization, but there's also Babylon and ancient Sumeria.
Okay, I'm going to move on a little bit. Oh, Odd Growth is here. What's up? He says, hey, Pete.
Hello, Odd Growth.
How you doing tonight? I got awesome one says Canadian time travel. Is that bacon and something next to it? James Campbell says, I'm Bigfoot, except I have a big nose. I was going to get into Bigfoot, but we're talking about this. Those were my three subjects, kind of getting into like the hollow earth theory, Bigfoot, and the UFOs. So we'll see where this goes. But because Bigfoot is a huge thing in Colorado as well. Colorado has a lot of these weird, the phenomena or whatever. Okay, one more thing from David. With respect to the inner Earth, it has been reported by MSM that the inner core of the Earth stopped spinning in 2009. The Hadron Collider CERN in Switzerland went online in 2009. Just saying.
Well, That's a possibility. The story about the Earth's core not spinning anymore was recent. At the same time, what if there's not a core down there, but a sun that lights the inner world? You know, I don't know. I really have no idea. I think there's a lot of stuff that points to Earth. Admiral Byrd, Operation High Jump.
Mhm.
You know, the government sent military down to Antarctica after the war for a reason. And then they had planes and boats get shot down and sunk. By who? By what? What's going on down there?
And that just reminds me, I'm going to drop the link about you on Christina Gomez's channel tomorrow, but also Pete has a lot of Antarctica videos that are fascinating. If anybody's into that that subject, where are most of your Antarctica? Are they on YouTube or are they on?
No, my Antarctica playlist is right up on YouTube. You can just check it out on YouTube. It's right on my homepage. So if you go to the Creepy Little Book page on YouTube, you will find them under my short videos. Not shorts, but under my videos, my produced videos, not like my live streams. So click on that video tab or check on my playlists, and you'll find all my Antarctica videos.
I'm going to first drop the link for tomorrow's show, which is. Okay, I'm just putting tomorrow's show and dropping the link. You guys can understand that because I don't really.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be at 8:30 p.m., I believe.
And
Eastern
also,
time.
are you still here? Do you mind dropping Pete's link for me? Since I made you a mod. Since it'll take me a while to type out the YouTube and his name. Thank you. Okay. I appreciate it if you could. Please. Let's get back to the comments. I've got a lot. Okay. Dan Skill Rocco, hello. Haven't seen you. Actually, I saw you the other day. I hadn't seen you for a while before that. Yeah. Admiral E. Byrd claimed to have seen the opening to Inner Earth. Yep. Pete has spoken about that on his channel. And I actually met someone who claims to be the, like, either not grandson or like great, that's his great uncle, I think, or great uncle. Mr. CCDB. As for STTNG, oh, that's Star Trek, right? I was talking about the episode where they explored concurrent evolution, the chase, where several races were seeded by one old-time race.
That's true. That was an episode where there was a race between three different aliens groups to discover this archaeological secret that revealed that an ancient species had seeded their worlds with life. Very interesting episode.
I told you I am going to begin to watch Star Trek, but I'm starting from the beginning when I do.
Yeah, you should start from the 60s stuff and then move on.
And thank you, Drew Dat Underground. Okay, Glinkster says it's 11:44 in Georgia, 10:44 in Alabama. The states border each other. If you stand on the state line, we have a continuation of this somewhere? No, not on my end. Okay. I'm scrolling down. James Campbell, hello again. In another galaxy in lifetime, capital D is the #1 rapper of all time, but not this one. Capital D is the #2 rapper in this lifetime, I will say. I knew it. Antediluvian. That's all. Pentateuch. I don't know how to say that word. You guys could just start putting big words in the chat and just mess with me the whole time. During my research, a sheetload of stuff Pete talks about comes up. Cool.
Glad to hear it.
Hi, Monkey. Hi, the Monkey. I haven't seen you in a while. Will you both be going to see the new Indiana Jones film since it's Harrison Ford's last portrayal of the character? I haven't been to a movie theater in... I'm trying to think of the last movie I saw.
I haven't seen Indiana Jones movies since they were like new.
No, I've seen them since then, but
yeah, I saw them when I was a kid, but like, you know, I've got no interest in seeing the new one.
So yeah, to answer the question, I wouldn't go to the theater, but I don't really. I'm kind of not a fan of remakes of things that I think were
Yeah, I'm just
perfect
not
to
gonna
begin
watch
with.
it in general. Like it's not gonna be good. So why bother?
Except for Wednesday, that show, the show on Netflix. I do want to check that out. I'm hearing really good things about that.
Oh, okay.
That's one that I have.
I
I'm
don't watch a
open
lot
to.
of TV.
I haven't watched. Well, I haven't
Yeah,
watched
I
anything.
know.
I have no attention span. Odd Growth again. Hello. Has the fourth kind been brought up? The movie that takes place in Alaska and is spliced with actual footage of psychologist interviews with abductees. Is that what you were kind
The
of
Fourth
talking about
Kind's a
before?
great movie, but the spliced in footage is still produced Hollywood stuff. It's not real. Like that's that's not
But
accurate.
are they based on
They
who
want you to
those
think
people you were
that. Like the
talking
Blair
about?
Witch wanted you to think it was real. They want people to believe that the footage that is spliced in is from actual interviews. But it's just made for the movie. Fourth Kind's a great
Fun.
movie though. I love it. Mila Jovovich, UFO investigating.
I never saw that. I saw
It's
The
pretty
Fifth
good.
Element with her, but it's
Yeah,
not.
it's pretty
I'll
good.
check it out. I was going to say the Blair Witch thing. I already knew that wasn't. I mean, I don't think people believe that, or did
There's
they?
another great UFO movie with Kerry Russell and what's his name's in it? God, he's in that. J.K. Simmons. I think it's called Dark Skies or something like that. But it's about a family who's being abducted by aliens and like the steps they take to go to like combat it. It's pretty good.
Is Kerry Russell? Is that like Felicity?
That's right.
I can't believe I put that on my ass. Plaid Panther, hello. I'm
Hello.
sitting on this leather chair that keeps making like squeaking now noises. So
Well,
if
your mic's
anyone's
not
hearing
picking it
that,
up, so don't worry.
okay. Um, Hi, good to see you. Cool talk. Hey everyone. Um, Awesome one. Bigfoot is a Gundam mecha for forest creatures. That's funny because we were looking at this huge, the giant Gundam in Japan, like the big statue on my stream the other night. Donut Earth is round, flat, and hollow. Sapphire Alpha. You're flat earther, and I never knew that. Oh no, round, flat, and hollow. Never mind. Continuing on. I'm gonna just erase that embarrassment of mine. The fun thing with us all relying on electronic data is we could literally all be wiped out of history in a day. The seventh day. Seventh day? I was just having a conversation with another YouTuber about technology. I think was it Hoff, maybe? Hoff, you're here. I don't remember if it was you or
Could have
not,
been.
but like I was just, or it might have been Fedorable the Horrible, but I was asking questions about that. I was like, if the internet just wipes out one day, we're all screwed anyway. And I think that's why I don't feel so bad about not knowing anything about it. Oh, hello, Courtney. Hi, me. 7 days Sabbath, no work. Pete, say something in chat.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Oh, so he can get your channel. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I got it. Pete and Christina are a great show. Good vibes. They are. I've seen them together. They do a great job together, actually. I agree with that. And that's the show tomorrow that Pete's going to be on. And that's that link up here, Christina G's channel. Dance Philip Rocco says, Pete's content is amazing. Courtney is awesome too. Thank you. I do agree. Pete has amazing content. That's why I wanted to kind of come talk about it on here, just to kind of throw, different loop in things on my channel. And thank you for calling me awesome, because I think I'm awesome. I write to myself on my MySpace wall. Is that the song? I'm awesome. Yes. There's Pete's link for everybody. If you're not subbed to Pete, please sub to him.
Thank
And
you
I
very
know,
much.
I'm pretty sure everyone here is subbed to me because I think I put it on subscribers only because I'm trying to hit 450 and I'm at 445. If anyone wants to share that out, that would be awesome. But
Yeah, I'm looking to hit
yeah,
32,500. So I need about 10 more subscribers to get there.
oh, that's it to get to that.
Yeah, I need 10 subscribers to get to 32,500.
You tell me it was that close. Okay, we'll get
Yeah,
that
yeah.
done.
I'm close. Close to getting that 500 mark. Then I only need another 500 to hit that 33.
Is that me that keeps cutting out, or is that your microphone? Is anyone in the chat hearing him cut out for like a second at a time? Ever?
I'm hearing you cut out here and there.
Oh, I wonder if the chat is hearing that. They can tell me. Okay, we'll go back up here.
I don't see anybody complaining about any issues.
No, I just keep noticing it, so I didn't know if
yeah, well,
it was,
let's just roll with it.
Okay. Kai says Pete values his time. He does. He does. Absolutely right. Sapphire, most advanced civilizations would likely be coastal for sea trade. Rising coastlines would explain a lot. Reminds me of that a Youth Brigade song, Save with California. I saw Otto. He was very grumpy. If you don't value your time, go watch the indie movie.
There you go. I just don't trust it's going to be good. I don't really like anything new because nothing new is good.
Some indie stuff, I think, has been good. But to me, new indie stuff, Pete knows this, new to me is like 2008. Anyway, Tiger Slip says, yeah, I'll go see Indy 5, but just for Harry. Oh, that's the Indiana Jones. I'm thinking indie films. I totally did not make that connection. I'm sorry about that, guys. I streamed for like 4 hours, I think, or 3 hours before this, so I'm always brain dead. Doesn't matter. How has your puppet been, Courtney? My puppet is good. My puppet's sitting over there. Frankie may come out this Friday night, and for all of you, I'm going to be consistent with late night Jawns every Friday night. So 12:30 Eastern time, 12:30 a.m. on Friday will be late night Jawns again, and this week it's still going to be Pete, like always. Hawkcast will be there. Six is going to join us. Tony Nasser, and if Ashley wants to come on, and Brahma, those are the other two. But yeah, we're going to have some fun. So, okay, cool thoughts as always, Missy dude. Okay, so people talking to each other. I'm going to skip a little bit just because I'm way behind. Kerry Russell is in Cocaine Bear. I never saw Cocaine Bear. But I can't believe I knew she was from Felicity. I never watched Felicity. That's what's funny about it. Wasn't Fire in the Sky, was it?
That's a good flick, too.
I feel like I've seen that. But
that's the one with D.B. Sweeney and what's his name?
It's like from the 80s or something?
No, it's from the 90s.
Well,
it's got what's his name in it from Terminator 2?
Edward Furlong?
No, the guy who played the T-1000.
Oh.
Remember the cop Terminator?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I don't know the name.
He was in it. D.B. Sweeney's in it. It's called Fire in the Sky. Who else is in it? James Gardner's in it. From Maverick.
Yeah, I think I've seen it. I'm just, you know me. I have to like see like a picture, the cover.
It's a pretty creepy movie.
Because I stopped wasting my time watching movies that I know are going to be shit. Okay. Hi, Aaron. How are you doing? Yo, creepy little book. How you doing? That was so I could link quicker. Yeah, we got that part. Okay, Kai and Tiger Strikes. You can. Aaron, where's Albert? I don't know where Albert is. Probably behind you, Aaron. Love you, Courtney. Love you too, Aaron. Okay, I'm not. You guys can fight amongst yourselves. Pete is so shadow banned.
Yeah.
We've talked about that. Yeah, it's shitty.
It's been that way for years. I've grieved over it. I've accepted it, and I've determined to like push through it. Like I'm doing my best, but the best thing you can do is just subscribe and tell people about it. Recommend it to your friends if you're interested in the kind of fringe content that I produce. But yeah, I'm definitely shadow banned. I don't know what I did. I don't have any strikes or anything like that.
I'm confused. Just calling it as I see it, Courtney. Fired. Okay, I don't know. 32K, that's impressive. Wow, I'm really behind. Yeah, Pete worked really hard on his channel, and we had this discussion today, Pete.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's
Yeah.
messed up, you know, for something like that, because he doesn't have strikes and stuff, as he just said. Hey, Pete, come on, you can do it, even on my channel if you want.
What's up, Ginger? How you doing?
He always does this to me. He will do the opposite of what I tell him. What's up, Ginger? How are you? Hey, you. I feel like I just saw you. It's nice to see you, that 70s rock fan. He says, good evening. Okay, Kai, I'm sorry. I'm just skipping those because I like to keep it kind of positive here. So whatever you guys say amongst yourselves, that is fine, but I'm not going to know. I'm not going to show it on here. Didn't know it was unsub from Creepy Little Book. It must have been on my period reset. Okay, let's see. The premiere hasn't been released yet. Just looking forward to it. Awesome. I'll have to see the trailer. Okay, I don't know what you guys are talking about here, but okay, let's see. I am moving down. Pete, Kai says, make shorts. They are on a different algorithm. I made a few today. I'm going to post throughout the week. You've talked about that, haven't you?
What's that?
Making shorts.
Oh, those like 1 minute videos.
The one I was trying to figure out how to make, and I couldn't.
Yeah, I don't really. That's a lot of info to cram into 1 minute. You know, I know that there's other guys that do the kind of content I do who make a lot of 1 minute videos. But, you know, for me, I'd rather sit there and record something that goes 10 minutes or sit there and talk about it for an hour than try to micro machines my way through a 1 minute video. And none of these topics I delve into, I think they deserve more than a minute, you know?
Mm-hmm. You feel strongly about what you speak about, and you take a lot of time into it. So I understand that. I can totally see that. So, Pete.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
Okay.
I streamed for hours earlier.
You feel like
shall we do
it
a Yeah, do you want to do a continuation on another subject another night? And we'll figure out that
absolutely.
night and
sure.
let the chat know, because this is really interesting. I started streaming, if that 70s rock fan is still in here, on his channel today at many hours ago, it seems like now. What time is it? Yeah, about 6 hours ago. So I'm beginning to get a little bit tired. But Kai's in the chat. Kai will be streaming tonight, right? It's Monday. Kai will be streaming. Kai, you changed. Drop your link in the channel if you want. Instead of arguing. Thank you. But Kai, I think he changed his time to an hour earlier, so you're gonna have to put the time in there too. And Tiger Springs, thank you for the live stream. Take good care, chat. Thanks for coming, you guys. And I do know David Gosling. Yeah, men get their periods too. I've always said that a mental thing. It's not the same as the women who bleed. You know that whole saying, who can bleed for that long and not die. We probably can't even say crap like that anymore, but I will. And who isn't shadow banned today was another comment. I don't think I'm shadow banned, but I don't have a big channel. So, and my channels are nothing but live streams that are silly things. So I can't imagine that anyone would care. If they did, oh well. Pete, however, put a lot of time into it.
You gotta think too, like my channel's been around for 8 years. I predate the bell.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm just gonna say. You have put
predate a lot of the algorithm stuff. I've been through 2 adpocalypses, So whatever. What can you do?
It's a shame because it's almost like if you could start your channel over and have your subs. But I mean, you took so long. Yeah. I know just personally because I've known Pete for a long time. Like he put so much time into his channel. You streamed every single night, even holidays, every single night of the year. I do not know how you did that
for so long.
Yeah. Jethro Fox just showed up. Hello. The bell is a lie. I don't get notifications at all. So I agree with that. Okay, so Ginger Biking Jesus, before we go, he says, I don't know if you all were aware, but there's a comet coming past our planet through our solar system from now till mid-February. It won't be around for another 50K. Look northwest around dusk. Okay. That's good to know. Tony says, hey, Kai. I didn't know you were still here, Tony. Tony, I was telling everybody, if you're still in Friday night, late night Jawns, Tony Nasser will be joining us as well. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm not good at reading all the names of everybody because that takes me another hour, and I'm wiped right now. But anyone who wants to, if you want to see something hilarious, it actually ended up it was a lot of fun. It turned into kind of like a Mystery Science Theater on that 70s Rock Bands channel earlier. He did the Canon Ninja movies, and Razorfist was on there, and Austin, I don't remember his last name, Tristan or something. Tom from Midnight's Edge, but all of us, we were going through and just kind of making fun of the movies. It was a lot of fun. The chat was funny. So if anyone's interested in that, go check that out too. Okie dokie. I wish I had an outro, but I don't. So I'm going to kind of, instead of having, now that I pulled this thing up, I don't have to make us make stupid faces. Goodbye, everybody. I love you. Thank you so much for coming.